In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Good morning. Happy Sabbath. So, we're all in quarantine right now, or self isolation, and we probably have a lot of different coping methods to get us through this time. Maybe you're breaking a lot of bread, maybe you're having Zoom calls with your friends and family, maybe you're meditating. How many of us have tried one of those meditation apps? You know, they have apps like Calm or Breathe or Soothe or, one of those names. And they walk you through the process of meditation because meditation is supposed to be good for us. It's supposed to be a form of self-care. And the people who think that way really aren't too far off because in the Spirit of Prophecy, actually, Ellen White says that we should meditate. She says that we should meditate on the Bible and the story of Jesus and nature also. She talks a lot about the benefits of nature and how great it is. She says nature is a lesson book. She says nature is a school. It tells us more about God and his character, and it brings us closer to him. And when I read these kinds of passages, my first thought is, as someone who likes to stay inside most of my life, my first thought is, do I have to? It's just nature. I'll stay inside, thank you. But it turns out that this week's Sabbath School lesson is kind of on the same track as Ellen White in this, because it argues that creation and nature is foundational. It's foundational to our beliefs in God, our beliefs about the world, and it's foundational to our beliefs as Seventh-day Adventists. Our beliefs about marriage and the Sabbath are all kind of in there. But it can be hard to grasp sometimes, especially now because we live in a time of doubt. We doubt whether or not the Sabbath is actually that big of a deal. We doubt whether or not marriage really should be between one man and one woman. We doubt whether or not the earth was actually created in 6 literal days. And when we have these doubts, when we have these questions, what should we do with them? Should we kind of just push them under the rug, say I'll get to you later, make sure we're doing all the other good Christian things, and hopefully it'll all turn out all right? I think that we should confront our doubts. When we have these questions, we should look them in the face. We should study them out. We should ask the questions and then determine to find answers because they're there. And this week's lesson argues that we can start that process with nature, with creation, because creation is foundational to God's truth. And everywhere we look around us, everything from a blade of grass to our pet to the air we breathe is all filled with complexity and the love of our Creator, and it all speaks to him and testifies of him and his truth. So we should spend more time in nature, meditating, breathing in, being calm, and thinking about the man who created us, the God who created us. So let's do that. Let's spend more time in nature. But first, let's spend time in our Sabbath School lesson, studying creation and the truth that is found in it. This week, our presenter is Brother Gene Gibbs, and so that means we know we're going to have an illuminating and interesting and exciting lesson to work through today. So let's pull out our Bibles, let's get ready for a great discussion after a word of prayer. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for this Sabbath day. Thank you so much for technology and how it lets us, spend time apart but separate but together. It allows us to continue to worship even through these times. Please bless and keep and cover us all throughout this pandemic and help us to stay healthy and help us to be able to come to you, not just with our worries and our stresses over this situation, but also with our questions and with our doubts. Please give us guidance and answer our questions and show us where in creation and then in other truths of the Bible we can find the answers that we need. Please be with us as we study today. Help us to learn something new that we can apply to our spiritual walks. Help us to learn something new that we can share with someone else. And help us to keep the Sabbath holy. And please help us to get ready for your soon coming. Thank you so much for your love. In your name I pray. Amen. Let's have a great lesson. Happy Sabbath.